Dundee, Knowsley, Brighton. They are going to be the people, the councils that others should follow. Right? That's a start. The housing, the £8 million deficit, that's if everybody refused to pay. That's a ballpark figure, a big figure. But that might not be the situation, because people might get discretionary payments. They might find themselves in a situation, if, for instance, legally it is possible to define a bedroom as 90 square feet, because nobody's got 90 square feet, right, in their house. So that would be another thing. We are going to tackle everything. We're going to fight for every bit of legislation or pressure points or every part of the reforms that can be done. Every council should be putting their officers to one task. How can we avoid evictions? Because we know that we are facing something worse than the poll tax. We are facing the attack on people who can't fight back. 80%, 80% of the people that are affected are people with disabilities who have got carers. Where did we decide that they were out there, the people that were going to pay for this bloody crisis? When did we decide that? We didn't. We decided that they're not going to pay for the crisis. This is the start of a major battle. In every part of this town, meetings will take place, small and big. But we need to do more than that. You see, these tenants and residents in Pilton, if you're not a member, you should join now. We need to have tenants and residents associations right across this area. We are seeing the return of the 80s, big style. And what we need to have is pressure on everybody. We need houses built. And actually now, the tenants were right. We need one-bedroom flats and bedrooms and houses right now to let people have decent houses and be able to move into and avoid the cuts that's going to happen. But one thing's for sure, the people that will make the decisions will be reluctant, they'll be half-hearted, they'll be making excuses, they'll be doing this and we'll be doing that. Well, we're not going to have it. You're either with us or you're against us.
Hello, I'm Brenda Toner from Your House Housing Association. I'd like to just confirm that although I work in housing, I've had 30 years working in social housing, and most people who work in housing don't agree with the bedroom tax either. So I'd like to think that people don't go away from this thinking that officials are supporting the bedroom tax. I've got 4 quick points that I just would like to make. The first one is, while we don't support the bedroom tax in principle, we do support incentivising people to move out of houses they no longer require to free up the smaller properties for people who do need them. So we would support a campaign that actually works to get people to move when they want to move and for the right reasons to move, and to make financial initiatives available to help people to move rather than forcing them to move. Second point is, why is this campaign happening now? We've been working with our tenants for over a year. Why is this happening 2 weeks before the tax takes place? Well, it's ridiculous that people haven't heard about this, because housing associations and local authorities have been campaigning about this under occupation charge. Third point is, Muirhouse Housing Association, like most social landlords, we cannot afford a reduction in our income, so we certainly would not be supporting a non-payment campaign. 14% and 25% is a lot of money to a small organisation like us, and it's not just about not being able to afford repairs in the future or build new houses. It's about paying for the houses that we currently own. We have mortgages for these houses, so any reductions in payments will affect our ability to pay our mortgages. And finally, I'm really concerned about all the negative comments about evictions tonight. Evictions are not a straightforward, quick fix process. In no way would I want people leaving here thinking it only takes 3 months' rent arrears to be evicted. It is a very lengthy process, and I suggest that if anybody wants to speak about legal processes, you speak to your own landlord. It is certainly not as quick as somebody's on 3 months arrears, you're out, or we're going for eviction. It is a very, very lengthy process, and our own experience is that sheriffs are not willing to evict people, even where we are able to prove it's a can pay, won't pay situation. So sheriffs do not treat eviction lightly, and that's all I'd like to say.
I'd just kind of like to respond to that. I wasn't saying that it takes 3 months for the eviction process to happen. What I said is the statutory obligation is that it's 3 months rent arrears before a housing association can move for an eviction. And I would also stress that anybody who is going through an eviction process, yeah, you can speak to your social landlord, but please seek independent legal advice for an organisation like Mines or for an organisation like Roddy's. And I'll just leave it at that. Thanks.
It's not just a case of having a go at like the Tories and the Lib Dems. Let's have a go at everybody. Stand up and let's actually go ahead. It's up to us to actually go to every meeting, stand up, have your say.
I work in the crisis food bank in this area, and already people are absolutely, they just can't understand how they're going to be involved in this. But if we don't work and get rid of this tax, then the crisis food bank will just get bigger and bigger and bigger. I think a lot of people don't know that this area's got a crisis food bank.
Thank you for this horrible night, for turning up, and the fight is now on. Thank you.
Go tell your neighbors, just reach out and pass it on. Oh yeah, it's like it's contagious. Go tell your neighbors, just reach out and pass it on. Oh yeah, it's like it's contagious. Go tell your neighbors, just reach out and pass it on.
And I really think it's a totally unfair tax. It's going to hit the most vulnerable people, but we'll have to fight this and bring it down like they did with the poll tax, like they did with the stock transfer in Edinburgh. Fight it and make sure that it doesn't happen. We're the citizens of Edinburgh, we're the people that put them in there. By God, we're the people that can take them back out again.
We'll have to stop allowing tenants to be evicted.
And how are people going to get
individual
organised?
tenants will have to go in a crowd and just not let them into the flat or the stair or whatever. There's got to be action like that will have to be taken. But I'm going to give them 100% support.
Like George, it doesn't affect me, but by God, I'm going to fight for the ones it does affect. It's totally unfair, and it's hitting the most vulnerable, the unemployed, the working class, the disabled, young, and that's going to go on for generations, and that's going to affect our young people. And like housing associations are saying they're only building in Move House 20 one-bedroom houses. It's absolutely ridiculous because people are living longer now, and so it's totally unfair. And we've got, George said, we've got to fight this. We just can't sit back and take this. We can't take the attitude, I'm all right, Jack, it doesn't affect me. We've got to fight for the ones who does affect.